Welcome to NCIX Tech Tips. This is yet another NCIX PC showcase, although this one I think is probably the best one we've ever done. We have redone the Corsair Dream Machine for 2012. If you guys are subscribed to my Linus Tech Tips blog, you've already seen the preview in which you've mostly seen the machine, but there were a couple of things that we left out. So here we've got it on display. This is the Corsair 800D case with its beautiful aluminum front bezel. We've also got an ASUS DVD rewriter and Blu-ray reader in there. The 800D has been around for a while, but that doesn't make it any less imposing. It's a very, very large case with an awesome clear side panel window that is very clean, only shows you the parts you want to see, and pretty much nothing else. We've also got three 120mm exhaust fans in the top, connected to a Corsair H100, and all of that is cooling an Intel Core i7 3930K. So the 3930K is a 6-core processor. It is unlocked, which means we can overclock it for you. And the clock speed we've achieved, we did not announce this in the Linus Tech Tips video, is 4.2 gigahertz. So yes, we are shipping 6-core, 4.2 gigahertz systems. Now, if you go for an Extreme Edition, as opposed to a regular K-Series unlocked, we're actually going to take it all the way to 4.4. Now, what about if I load in a bunch of memory? Because the default configuration comes with only 16 gigs of RAM. I mean, only, right? Only 16 gigs of RAM. What if I put in 32 gigs of RAM? It's funny you should mention that, although you didn't mention it. I mentioned it for you, because ASUS actually advertises their X79 boards as being pretty much fully capable of their maximum overclocking potential, even when you load up all the DIMMs. This is an extremely complicated maneuver because due to the tight spacing of the CPU socket, the PWM circuitry, which is carrying an enormous amount of power for such a high-end chipset like this, and those 8 DIMM slots, there's a lot of stuff going on in there. It's very easy for interference to occur, but ASUS has made it happen. Now, I'm going to take off the side panel and show you guys the inside. I guess before we get it opened up, we'll talk about the peripherals. So Corsair has their new Vengeance peripherals. We've got the M90 and the K90 on demo here. We've actually got a full NCIX Tech Tips coming out about these ones, as well as the K60 and the M60, so stay tuned for that. But these will definitely match the blue color scheme if you go with that for your case. Another thing that's sort of in between the exterior and the interior that I haven't talked about yet is the hot swap bays. So if you want to just pan over here, I'm going to show you guys. All you have to do is use your thumb to open them up, and inside the hot swap bays you will find not only a 3 terabyte storage drive, hot swap, that means yes, even though the system's on, I can wait for it to spin down and I can actually remove this drive. So a 3 terabyte storage drive and an Intel 520 series SandForce SSD. So Intel has tweaked that SandForce SSD for maximum reliability and maximum performance compared to the other SandForce controller drives on the market. It's using Intel Flash, obviously, it's an Intel drive, and it is a seriously kick-butt product. Now that we're opening it up, just with a push button here, this is the 800D, you guys are actually going to see the easy quick disconnects that are used for the internal LED lighting. So we're using a completely different kind of lighting. I'm just going to pop that off there, than we've used in the past, and that is with these soft, sticky LED strips as opposed to cold cathodes. So these LED strips offer a couple benefits over cold cathodes in that they are brighter, they last longer, they provide a more, well, not really a more even light, but because they're brighter and because they last longer and because they stay more consistent, cathodes can sometimes dim sort of this one and not this one, and the inverter provides more power to the one cathode than the other one because they're cheap inverters. So they'll be more consistent in terms of wherever you position them. They'll stay the way that you put them. We offer a variety of different color schemes, so if you don't like our classic blue on black color scheme, you can change not only the LED lights but also the Spectre Pro fans to match whatever color scheme you prefer. Might I suggest red as a cool color scheme to go with the dual Radeon 7950s. Now the reason we went with dual 7950s is that compared to a single GPU, it provides dramatically better performance than any single graphics processor on the market, so there's that. And you don't pay the price premium that you have to pay for the top of the line part. So we go with dual 7950s and a 3930K to get almost the same performance as a 3960X and 7970s, but at a greatly, greatly reduced price. Other than that, on the inside, there's not too much to mention. I just wanted to give you guys a good look at the H100. So for our H100, we are using a push-pull configuration. And you're also going to be able to see not only I showed you guys the turned off light already, but here's the turned on one. So you can see the camera can barely even capture its brightness. The whole thing is powered by an HX 1050 power supply. So what that means is you've got plenty of room for expansion, as well as any upgrades. That is a power supply that can grow with you because it is a modular power supply. So you add things, you remove things, you just take out or add the cables that you need. And I think that pretty much covers it. So the pricing's behind me, I think. Yeah. 4.2 gigahertz for only $32.99. Yes, it's a steep price point, but if you want, the ballerest gaming machine on the block, then I guess you got to pay to play, guys. So thank you for checking out this Systems edition of NCIX Tech Tips, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos from your favorite e-tailer, NCIX.com.